Hi, everybody. I just had a blast reading your research questions. I think there's going to be some really cool stuff there, and I'm going to show you two things that may be beneficial. Excuse me. One, when you go to the questions, so I'm just scrolling down, I have responded to everybody. Excuse me, swallowed wrong. Now, when you see the search up here, if you put my name in the search, that's going to bring in all of the ones I responded to. And right now it's everybody. But once people are looking in, if anybody writes, this will be the easiest way to just get straight up. Here are the ones that I've given you comments on. Now, I recommend not only looking at the feedback I gave you, but look at the feedback I gave about 10 people, right? Because there's only so much I can do, right? That's reasonable. And so you look at yours, okay, then go look at 9 others, and there might be something I said to somebody else that gets an idea that you can add to yours. So I would go back to this, check out all the feedback I gave. Actually, I'd look at everybody's, right? Because the more open you are in the beginning, right, the bigger the net. And the idea is, right, you're going to bring in a lot of stuff. A ton of it's going to be boring, uninteresting. So you want to be able to bring in stuff, throw it out, and keep the really interesting things. Now, the other part, and I'm going to use an example from, well, I'm going to use an example from class. All right, when it comes to using Google, right, which can be great. So this is Google. I did ethics vaccine testing in Africa. Now, I've got 23 million results, right? I want to limit that. So the first thing I'm going to do is cite edu. Now, definitely go to the database, look at all those other things that I've said to you. But when you're going to use Google, one thing that can be very helpful and start limiting, narrowing down, cite edu, right? So now here is, right, HIV research in Africa, a series of paradoxes. Infecting healthy people and vaccine research can be ethical. So I've got a lot here. This is going to be from universities, colleges, places that and a lot of law schools, I bet, because it involves ethics. So I did cite edu. I went from how many millions to 250,000. So I actually went from 23 million to 250,000. And then I'm going to add one more. This is good. But if I do PDF, I am going to get, right, access links straight to PDFs. And check this out. Here's John Hopkins, Research Ethics in Africa. Seems related to the topic. I click on that and check this out. A 220-page book that we have on, it's taking a little bit to load, right? On this topic, actually, those are blank pages. Now, do I expect you to read a 220-page book? No. Well, if you're bored, sure. Is it necessary? No. What is necessary, right, is right here. Go to the table of contents, read. If you ever find a book, right, something big, don't say, oh, I don't have time. No, you've got time. Go to the table of content, and then you can see, hey, which one of these fits what I'm interested in. And then I'm gonna read that chapter. This book, I might read one chapter and it's just what I need. Or maybe I read two, but not the whole thing. And so I make this, I'll move it over. If I move this around, I click this, I can download the PDF. And I would save it in a file that I have for English 1022, right? And then I can print it. And I don't want to print 220 pages. If I was on campus, maybe I would, because you've got all that paid for, right? Here, right, when you click it, you can go back, right, customize it and find out what you want. And the thing to remember is the page numbers of this aren't going to match the actual page numbers. So if I'm on, this is page 5. So I could go to, okay, this is page 5. I want the next 5. No, next 2 pages, I'm going to do 5 and 6. So move this back. Cite edu will get you to colleges and universities. PDF will get you stuff that's going to be handouts, that's going to be books. Let's see what this one is, as long as we're here. Ethical issues in developing countries. Look at this. Again, here is, it's 25 pages. I can look around, see if there's something valuable. Go read those 5 pages. Go read that 1 page. I only started doing this in not that long ago, and I am hooked. I still use the database, I still look at videos, but the site edu and the PDF, as far as, you know, quick finding me stuff I can use and save for later, it's a nice way to do it. Now, go back to our home page. First, I would look at your research question. I would look at the feedback, right? And some of you, chapter 11, I'm looking over here because this is where my book is talking a lot about religion, and some of you have topics too that are directly going to tie to this. So as you're reading chapter 11, right, think about whether you have religion in your topic or not. Think about grouping, how this fits. And the one thing that's going to be different about this than probably the papers you've written in the past is, I don't want you to take a side. I want you to explore multiple sides, right? Because whenever somebody says you're either with me or against me, it's a false dilemma, right? And most likely it's inaccurate. Maybe I'm neutral. Maybe I'm with you on this, but not on that. So I don't want you to just look at, here's one side, here's the other side. I want you to look at multiple sides, like the video of the Dodge Durango, right? There's one door if you look at it this way. There's 2 doors if you look at it this way. There's no doors if you look at that. So things to look at would be those moral taste buds, but you could also look at, how do people look at your topic economically, right? How do they look at it from, you know, government? There's a ton of ways to look at things. I want you to experience being, you know, pushed to look at it from multiple angles and really look to explore it in ways you have not thought about topics before. All right, enjoy chapter 11. It's another good one. Okay, that should cover it. Email me if you got any questions.